Okay, so we'll talk about using open digital technologies in our classrooms and beyond it to enhance learning. We'll talk about Open Gateways program, WeBWork, CityTech, OpenLab, Desmos, a little bit of everything. So we'll focus on active learning strategies, open educational resources, and games in math classrooms, flipped classroom with inquiry-based learning in our mind, an introduction to WeBWork, as I said, OpenLab, and introduction to Desmos. What are some of the ways to expand the open educational resources? Well, exploring and finding valuable OERs such as PowerPoint, videos, ebooks, handouts, websites. One of the websites that we've used the most is Desmos.com. Using open source digital platform in our college, which is called OpenLab, and storing the materials in there. And using a structured online assignment platform, practicing and learning WeBWork and game-based learning and WeBWork as well. What is the open gateways? Open digital pedagogies for student success in STEM application and opening gateways to completion is supported from U.S. Department of Education. We're developing Hispanic Serving Institutions program, and it's called Title V. It's a 5-year grant awarded jointly between New York City College of Technology and BMCC, and the goal is to support student success in math courses that serve as gateways to STEM disciplines, such as by increasing momentum, enhancing pedagogical effectiveness, and strengthening students' intellectual engagement. Two of the main components are creation and curation of OERs using WeBWork sets, videos, STEM application, interactive activities, and development and implementation of faculty seminars, which are 12 fellows from each one of the colleges, full-time and part-time colleges with 1 year commitment. It really has built strength of communities between the two colleges, between faculty within the college, between part-timers and full-timers in our colleges. This is the 2016-2017 Fellows OG fellowship members, and the other one is 2017-2018. This is one of the interactive seminars in our OG seminars, and the other one is presenting the deliverables. It's the last day for past year. Our focus was selecting useful STEM applications, preparing deliverables, applying new powerful tools and strategies, setting up clear goals and objectives, using advanced strategies and methods incorporating technology, and implementing and assessing the application. This is the OpenLab side. It's not clear. Why is it? Okay. So this is the OpenLab site where we have stored all the deliverables, and they are available to the faculty and students. This is one of, for example, of my videos, which is the application of complex numbers and circuits, just as samples of them. And now someone is taking over.
Okay, so Lucy kind of introduced the Opening Gateways program, which is, again, this grant run by City Tech and BMCC jointly to implement some of these educational technologies, specifically what we're going to talk about today. So one of them is WeBWork, which is this free open source web-based homework system, primarily for mathematics. So first of all, just a little bit of an overview. What is WeBWork? So it's supported by the MAA, the Mathematical Association of America, and the NSF. This is the MAA website, which you can visit, has all the documentation and so on. It's being used in over 700 institutions worldwide, and one of the advantages here is it's an open problem library with over 20,000 exercises submitted by faculty, again, all over the world, organized by course and topic, and aimed, again, primarily at lower division math courses. One thing which I'll talk a little bit more about as we go through is this software has to be hosted and administered at your institution, so it does require some commitment from faculty at your institution, some technical support. So what are the benefits? So some of the benefits are the same as for any online homework system, which again, I'm guessing some of you use since we're here in EdTech conference. So obviously for the students, they can access it anywhere and any time, right? Computer, tablet, or what we see most often is via the cell phone, right? Students are doing their homework on their cell phone. Again, the advantage of an online homework system is it's immediately graded, right? They submit an answer, they immediately get the feedback of whether it's correct or incorrect, and then we see that the valuable part of the learning process is they really have the opportunity for multiple attempts. So if they get a problem incorrect, by kind of a trial and error process, they can try to get the correct answer. From our point of view as instructors, again, with online homework system, it removes that burden of collecting and correcting written homework, which is also a benefit for the student. It removes that time lag between when they're working on the problem, possibly confused, hand it in, we eventually correct it, hand it back. They probably never look at our corrections anyways. So here they get that immediate scoring. And then also from the instructor's point of view, we can track individual students' progress and class statistics. So we see ourselves doing this a lot over the course of the semester. We can see whether individual students are doing the homework, reach out to ones that aren't. And then at the end of the semester, it's easy to download those directly into your spreadsheet to calculate statistics. So the advantage of WeBWork in particular, unlike proprietary online homework systems that the textbook publishers are trying to sell us, is that here we can customize the problem sets to our course curriculum, which again has been the focus of this Opening Gateways program. And it's free. So it's not the case where students have to buy a code from textbook publishers to access homework. So specifically at City Tech. So WeBWork has been in use since 2011. Again, it does require some institutional commitment to this. So we're lucky that we have a full-time faculty member, Andrew Parker, who's really taken the lead on this, set up the software. It's hosted on a server at City Tech. So this is a CityTech website. You can visit it. You can't log in, but it's you can see it's a CityTech website that hosts all the courses, all the math courses that are math sections that are using WeBWork. So it's being used in 55 sections in our course in our department this semester, ranging from, again, the image quality isn't very good, but from remedial courses through the gateway courses that, again, we're talking about today. So college algebra trig, pre-calculus calculus, statistics, again, is considered a gateway course for a lot of STEM majors. And then also in some advanced courses like linear algebra. Okay, so we can go forward and actually look at some screen grabs. So when students go to the WeBWork site, they find their course. I encourage students to bookmark that on their phone so they can get to it easily. They log in, they see a list of, again, this is open homework assignments, and these are closed homework assignments. So they log in, they see what are the homework assignments they should be working on, what are the due dates. And also, these say closed solutions available, so they can go electronically and look at solutions for homework sets that were assigned early in the semester. So they click in on a homework set, they see a number of problems. Again, this is the way we've structured it for our courses, though each homework set is usually under 10 problems, which I think is good for students. They feel like that's a manageable amount that they can do. So actually what we have is we have many more homework sets that are kind of assigned almost every day, something like that. So here's a homework set actually that I had assigned just last week on exponential equations. And again, the due date is here. They have a number of problems. They click through on a problem. Go ahead to the next one. They get a problem like this. And then what's here is there's a little box here where they have to enter their answer. And then the student clicks submit answers, and then again they get that immediate feedback of whether it's correct or incorrect. So one advantage here is that we can actually provide customized error message. So again, you can't see here, but here the instructions were they had to enter the solution to this exponential equation to 3 decimal places. Here we entered it to 2 decimal places, so then it gives the error message that you need to enter. So we can have customized error messages to kind of guide them with common mistakes. Okay, we can go to the next one. From the instructor point of view, so the instructor can do a lot more, obviously. So WeBWork has built into it kind of basic kind of learning management system capabilities. So there's a class list editor where you add or remove students, obviously. There's, again, that overhead at the beginning of the semester of uploading your course roster and getting login information for all your students, getting the login information out to them, making sure they log in, etc. There's homework sets editor where you can edit assigned homework sets. Statistics, so this is a screen grab of a statistics page where you can view it problem by problem. So you can actually see if a substantial portion of the class is having difficulties with a certain type of exercise. And then there's there's student progress, which again is helpful just to see how much of the class is doing a certain homework set. So I'll check that almost daily to see if they're making progress as the due date is approaching. And then you can also see by student. So that's also helpful for, say, midterm grades. we gave out midterm grades a couple weeks ago. I could just kind of download every student's progress up to that point and tell them what it is. And they can also view that, obviously, at any time. So that's WeBWork in general. So specifically this Opening Gateways program that we're talking about today, what have we done with WeBWork in there? So first of all is curriculum development. So we said there's this huge open problem library, which is organized by course and so on. But again, the strength here is you can customize this to your curriculum. So a focus of the Opening Gateways program is to select, faculty selected programs from that open problem library, edit them to match up our syllabus, and then also authoring new problems. So scaffolded multi-step exercises are possible. Exercises like this that are integrating additional educational technology, really taking advantage of the web. So this is an interactive graphing problem. Yeah, we go forward. Back up one more.
Oh,
I think skip one. Yeah. So where are we now? So the focus of this Opening Gateways program at City Tech has been this Math 1275 Gateway course, which is college algebra trig. So where we are now is we have this complete, kind of relatively stable collection of homework sets that now any instructor for this course can just be set up with at the beginning of the semester. And we've actually tied that to the syllabus so that instead of having a list of textbook exercises that faculty would assign, they just know when to assign which WeBWork set, tied kind of to that day of the semester. In addition, Opening Gateways fellows are trained using WeBWork, so that was the pictures Lucy showed of these seminars. So one of those seminars is training the fellows in how to use WeBWork and even in how to author problems. So one thing with WeBWork is if you're going to author problems, it takes some overhead again. It's kind of a mix of Perl and some other languages. And then there are workshops for all math faculty in our department to get them on board at the beginning of the semester. Next year, the Opening Gateways will look at the next course in the sequence, pre-calculus, and kind of get to this stage with that course too, so that we'll have the sequence of courses. Okay? All right. One other kind of ed tech aspect that we want to talk about today is there is an Ask for Help button. So previously, this would let students email the instructor. And you can see how that could be problematic. You get emails kind of late at night, right before the homework is due, and then you get into email exchanges trying to answer questions. And then that information would just kind of be siloed in email exchanges. So what the Opening Gateways team did together with the OpenLab team, which we'll talk about in a second, if you go to the next page, is kind of shifted that to the web. So now there's a website called WeBWork on the OpenLab, which is an online forum. So when students click the Ask for Help button, they're directed to this web page. They can post their question, and then any faculty member can reply to their question. And then that creates kind of this knowledge base of questions and answers that any student can come and look at. It's actually organized here by course, by section, by problem set. So it's actually something they can, even if they're reluctant to post their own question, they can see if a similar question has been asked in the past. So what is the OpenLab? So that's kind of the next topic I want to talk about real quick. Yep, click through to the OpenLab. And then let's click through. So the OpenLab is, and there was a talk just now, hopefully some of you were there, about the OpenLab. So this is an open source online platform at CityTech. It's created and maintained at CityTech, powered primarily by WordPress. And so what it does is it allows anyone in the CityTech community to easily create websites. So faculty use it to create course websites. Students, faculty, staff can create online portfolios. Lucy's going to show us hers in a while. Back up just one second. And so this is actually the project site for the Opening Gateways seminar. Again, we apologize if the images didn't come through. And this just, again, allows additional kind of course management tools right out of the box. So blog, discussion forum, calendar, file. So again, this is open, so anyone here, if you go to the next page, can visit the Opening Gateways site. And again, that's a repository for the various open education resources that we created through the seminar. These are all course websites, again, for this college algebra trig course that we've been focusing on. So again, the seminar fellows are asked to use the OpenLab, create course sites, and that actually benefits us as faculty. We can see what other instructors are doing. We can actually download their course materials that they've uploaded there. And then I'll just mention one other thing that's on the OpenLab is we've created a website. This was actually one faculty member that was flipping their course, created a OpenLab site with videos, links to Khan Academy videos, tied again to our syllabus. So now what we've done is created this now video library where, again, it's organized by the syllabus of the course. And if you go, I got one more, I think, slide. So going back to WeBWork, we've tried to kind of create an ecosystem of educational technologies so that now the link to that student video resources website is embedded inside WeBWork. So if they're having difficulty with a particular homework set, they can click here, go to the OpenLab site where they can look at Khan Academy videos that can kind of review those topics. Yeah, I'll shift to Lucy now.
Okay, so please. Now this is my profile in OpenLab. They just presented about the OpenLab, but we have some specific things in our experience. Here are my courses, and they drop down. And here are my projects. One of them is Opening Gateways. And here I have just cut off one of my class sites, and I have clicked on files. And these are the files that I have for that course, just some examples. Here is my portfolio. So you can create your own portfolio in that. Students can create their own portfolio as well. One of the class sites, and the very first page, for example, I have posted my videos that the most important materials for the course. Here I have the syllabus, under the syllabus, and whatever sections you want to highlight for the students, you have them throughout the school year, the semester. Here, and for example, in the discussion board, they can just cooperate with each other. You can put important information, announcements, and all that stuff. Especially when they have group work, I use them to post their discussion and their questions and cooperate and collaborate. And they upload their project here, and then they present it in class. This is, for example, the game that they are doing in WeBWork. And the links are there where the students click on them, and then they see the updated results for as an individual and as a classes. Yeah. I'll talk a little bit about introduction about Desmos. Desmos.com is online graphing calculator. It's a very powerful tool that I've been using it for a long time. There are many ways of using it. You can use it live, for example, have a link ready that you have looked for before and the others have prepared maybe, or it's available there. Besides that, you can explore for the graphs, asymptotes, extremas, whatever you want to use for in calculus classes or pre-calculus classes. Checking the answers for any classes. I use that a lot for college algebra as well. And exploring transformations of the graph. Move it so you can bring examples. This is one of the links, for example, that I have already. The students can explore about Riemann sums. It's a midpoint, but there are other links available as well. Yes. Sketching the graph, for example. Let's say students have worked and you want to check with them. You want to work on the board. You can graph it. You can put the table on, and then you can discuss all the features of the graph. You can work even if the board is wide. You can work on top of the graph, so you can just match everything that they have done before. Explaining visually challenging topics, such as, for example, inverse functions, and especially when you want to visualize it, let's say the derivatives of them, they can visually see that the inverse functions have reciprocal slopes at reflected points. So that's how they can remember the formula as well. So it's very helpful in a visual way. Checking the answers, you can just move it because I'm going to explain it here. So, for example, you have given to them a nonlinear system. It's a little bit challenging to check the answers. Instead of substituting the values, you can just graph it quickly, and then they can match the answers. Or if you want to give them a text-rich document to prepare or a presentation, they know how to embed the graphs and charts and tables and all that stuff. Or if you have, for example, given to them a challenging question, let's say in a calculus, let's say after they have worked on implicit differentiation and they are there to write the equation of the tangent line at a certain point, they can check that that line is exactly tangent there. If they graph them and it's not tangent at that point, that means that's not the right line to graph. Exploring the graphs, especially it starts since in algebra, but you know that in a pre-calc then it becomes more challenging. once they are used to this, they can use those coefficients and those features and those concepts to explore the graphs in trigonometry as well. For example, you can just take the parent function and then change the coefficients until they get to the full formula, and then they can see how you can take the coefficients one by one, how the graph is compressed or expanded or flipped over instead of upward downward, or how it's shifted to the left or to the right or up or down. You work on each one of those one by one, and then you give them an idea of, so they explore and they get the idea of how it works and what the transformations of the graph are. Another way of using it is selecting the activities that the others have prepared in the OpenLab, is in the teacher's Desmos. You can create your own activity, and I'll show you in a minute that I have created my own, implementing the activity and evaluating students' work. So this is my history of activities. You can see some of the activities. I just have cut off some of them to see that you can have the history. And if you want to go back to any of the activities that you have used before, instead of searching, you can just click on that and then use it. Then you go to create a class. Can you please move the class a little bit because I don't have much time? Yes. And here are the activities that I have created. They are my own activities. Move it. And this is the one that I have created from OG. The one that I have created from OG. It's the last one. It has to do with trigonometric functions, and it's a real-life application, Ferry wheels. This is beautiful graphs, parametric graphs. The students can be creative. They can use inequalities and equations that are challenging to them, and it's a lot of math in there, but they are beautiful as well, so they can be creative. This is one marble slide type of activity. The students can move the graph down and pick up the marbles. You give the code to the students when you come to implementing it. This is how the dashboard looks like, and then move them very fast. This is, you allocate the student. And if many students have the same problem, you anonymize, paste, and pose the activity, and you lead to the discussion. Go to the conclusions. Okay, so some key takeaways. How do we extending the OERs for our courses by creating STEM applications, creating Desmos activities, powerful tools to create text-rich documents, creating videos, involving students in a research project, having digital sharing online platforms such as OpenLab as we do. One of the key takeaways, most important one, is that the tool has a value when there is a meaningful relationship between the educational technology and pedagogy. Another key takeaway is we start with the curriculum start with an end in mind. We should start with curriculum of our courses, then identify strategies and technologies that help achieve the goal. And then the last one is we have the opportunity to steer the ship. Open educational resources provide an opportunity to research teaching technologies and pedagogy, and integrating technology into courses with the goal of student-centered philosophies of teaching. And these are some links if you want to explore. Thank you.